Fear of failure. Does it sound familiar? If you're an aspiring change maker, you surely are aware of so many bumps on the way to meet your dream. And you are probably also aware of the cost you are paying when you are not overcoming that fear. You know what are the benefits of really taking that action you fear to take. Yet, you may still find yourself feeling stuck and not just doing it. So what to do about this? I just would like to share with you my 5 golden tips which may help you, may shift that perception and give you insight you exactly are looking for. First off, know what you fear. So when you break down that fear of failure, you need to ask yourself a question: what is it that I am actually fearing? What is that failure? How does it look like? How do I know when I fail? So failure on the outside may look like you are not having filled coaching practice, you are not receiving money for your coaching, your presentation didn't go well, you put yourself out there but you didn't get the results you want, and more and more and more. On the inside, however, that failure looks like: I feel ashamed, I feel disappointment, I feel judged and criticized, I feel unworthy, I feel not good enough. So when you look at this, you quickly realize that all fears are fears of feelings. You are not fearing failure, you fear the feeling that that failure will give you. And most specifically, when you really analyze those fears, the key, the fundamental fear you have is based on the belief: I am not good enough. So what you really essentially fear in failure is that feeling: I am not good enough, which is nothing else than your own sense of worthiness. And this is why step number 2 is really to learn to see your worth. How you do it? Of course, you are not learning to see your worth overnight, but if I could give you few simple steps to start working on it. First, identify the time in your life when that fear, that sense of not being enough actually started. Next, really offer yourself that sense of self-compassion and forgiveness for creating whatever story you created that you may not feel enough right now. And then work on really identifying that worth, but with no reference to what you have achieved so far, with no reference to what you do. Could you just see worth in you through being rather than doing and having? I leave you with that reflection, because if you truly, genuinely see your worth, then why would you fear the failure? If that sense of worth is like the armor for you, and is there to keep you safe and protected from whatever else out there, judgment, opinion, failures, right? Next step is talk yourself out of that fear. So when you think about this, we all have strategy for that fear. So if I could take that fear away from you, and I would need to get from you that recipe, what would that be? I've been recently working with a client, and she was preparing that presentation, and she shared with me what her strategy is. And it was something like, well, first I prepare a presentation, then I start to doubt myself. So specifically the thoughts I start to have would be: they will not find it credible. You will not sound like an expert. You will forget what to say. They will just not approve you. They will criticize you, and all sorts of bad kind of scenarios that she would think a potential audience, that her audience would think, right? And next thing that she would experience in that process of creating fear of failure would be that her body would tense up. Her body would tense up, and as a result, she would really make more mistakes. And that would create that spiral that she would grant herself in that idea of failing. But this is the strategy for how to create fear of failure. What about creating exactly anti-fear strategy? What would that be? Because the truth is that if you can talk yourself into fearing failure, you can also have that ability to talk yourself out of it. So my question to you is, what would be the steps in your I am confident strategy rather than I fear failure strategy? Okay, journal on that. Next thing, find the bigger fear. So there is a decision, the choice that you always have. Can you fear not trying more than trying and potentially failing? The truth is that most successful people succeed because for them the fear of not trying is so much bigger than fear of trying and failing that they just do it. Could you take that perception on board? And could you think that really trying to do things contributes to help you in becoming someone? Who are you becoming when you try and do it anyway? And who are you becoming when you stuck, when you don't take action, because you fear? Surely you know that you not only stop seeing yourself as leader, it will be like game over for your business, but it creates so much inner doubt and just drop in your self-esteem that is simply not worth it. So find the fear that is bigger than the fear of failure. And finally, ground yourself in that fearless perspective, fearless approach. Find inspirations out there, find stories that will solidify that belief that you can fail, you can try, and there is no black and white. Embracing that gray area. One of my favorite quote is quote by Joseph Campbell: "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek." What would be yours? Hope those tips help you. And if you feel you need extra support in working on overcoming your fear of failure, let me know. Thanks for tuning, guys. Bye for now.